So in 2021, you want to set goals and you want to have a New Year's resolution, but how do you go about setting goals that are achievable and goals that you can actually realistically accomplish without quitting? A couple years ago, I was introduced to this time management concept called SMART goals. The SMART in SMART goals is an acronym with the S for specific, the M for measurable, the A for attainable, the R for realistic, and the T for time-based. So in this concept, you need to have goals that are specific. Know exactly what it is that you want to achieve, and you want to also have these goals measured. This way you can tell if you're actually making any progress. Attainable because, for example, winning the lottery is luck, so instead of making goals that you can't really control the outcome, you want to set goals that you can control the outcome. Now, realistic because you can't just have a goal to move from making, let's say, $15 an hour to making $1,000 an hour in 30 days. While that may be possible, the odds of that happening are very low, so it's not realistic. And finally, time-based because you need to have a deadline. There must be some level of urgency put on achieving any goals you set for yourself, and so you must have a deadline when the goal should be accomplished by. Now, this concept is good, but after using this concept for a while, I realized that there was a problem with it, and the problem was that you can easily underachieve with this concept. You'll underachieve because you'll limit yourself. So for example, let's say I wanted to do the 52-week money challenge this year. I create a SMART goal, and the SMART goal is to save $100 every single week for 52 weeks. Maybe it fits the criteria. It's realistic, it's attainable, it's measurable, it's specific, and it's time-based. The problem comes in when I have more money. Maybe for a couple weeks from the year, I can save $200 or even $500. Now, while that is not a part of the plan, I could add those extra savings and get to the goal faster or just exceed the expected results. If I followed my SMART goal right down to the T, so to speak, then I would instead use those extra payments or that extra money to do other things because I would tell myself that I'm already doing a good job and I already have the $100 saved for that week. So the main point here is that you want to have the best of both. I like overachieving, and most people do. If you set a goal to save $1,000 and you end up saving $1,500, then naturally you're going to be more excited and even proud of yourself for overachieving. So the question now is, how do you actually get around to setting a SMART goal or following that concept, but at the same time prevent limiting yourself so if possible, you can go above the goals that you actually set for yourself? Well, that's what I'll be talking about in this video, and if you have any other concepts that you use to set goals and it works very well, comment below and let me know what it is and how it actually works for you. Also, if you're new to the channel or you're watching one of my videos for the very first time, my name is Ian, and I post videos here on YouTube every single day on topics relating to making money and personal finance. So if you'd like to see more of these videos, then give this video a thumbs up. I'll really appreciate it. And also consider subscribing to this channel, and that way you'll be able to get the updates when I post a new video, and I'll be posting a new video here every single day on YouTube. Now, here's how you can go about making goals for 2021. The first thing I want to talk about is motivation, and motivation is actually not very good for you because if you create a goal because you feel motivated right now, in 2 weeks from now, you most likely won't be motivated. Motivation doesn't last for a very long time, and it's usually a feeling we experience in the short term. Secondly, I want to talk about procrastination and doubt and also self-negotiation. These three are all bad. If you tell yourself that you're going to do something today, you can easily procrastinate and then negotiate in your mind and tell yourself that it's fine if you get it done tomorrow. You'll likely end up negotiating your goals and outcomes for months, which again does not help you with your goals. So let's say your goal is to do the 52-week challenge and you want to save $100 every single week for 52 weeks. That in itself could be a SMART goal, and this is a very good SMART goal. However, since you already thought about this and you know it's realistic and attainable because you know you can save $100 every single week, why not go above and beyond and instead set the bar a bit higher? Tell yourself or commit to saving the maximum amount possible for 52 weeks. The scenario is probably most likely going to play out like this. You may save $100 for 40 weeks and then maybe $200 for 12 weeks. Now, maybe it's more, but let's say that's what happens. You would have just saved $6,400, and if you were to stick with the SMART goal, you would have only saved $5,200. You had the potential and the ability to save $6,400, but if you did the SMART goal, all you really did was limit yourself. Now, because motivation is required to some extent and motivation doesn't last for a long time, I found that if you find people who have similar goals but are more of sharks than you are, this will actually help you out a lot. Think about your Instagram feed for a while. Usually it's filled with recommended posts of things you are interested in. If you're a guy, it's filled with women, no matter what your interests are, because I guess that sells, but you'll still see other things. Now, if you follow 5 people that are doing what you want to accomplish, then you will constantly be reminded that 1, it is possible because they're doing it, and 2, it works because they're achieving it. This is especially good when they are outperforming you, and this isn't bad because no matter what you do or where you are, there are always going to be people who do the very same things that you want to do, but they outwork you and they outperform you. So if you need to be constantly reminded that it works, even when you're not achieving what you want to achieve, then this is a strategy that you should think about using. Now, there is one more thing that we need to talk about here, and this is patience. See, if your goal is to save $5,000 in 1 year and you start saving today, in 4 to 8 weeks time, or maybe even 12 weeks time, you won't be anywhere near that goal. So you must learn to be patient. However, you also need to be impatient at the very same time. There is this quote or saying, and I can't remember where I saw it. I think I may have read it in a book, and if you know where it's from or who came up with it, then comment below. But it goes something like this: be very patient for results, but be impatient with your actions. So the main point is that although you want to be patient to see results, you want to at the same time be impatient to take action. Always be doing as much as you possibly can. And if you think about the previous tip, which was to find 5 people that are achieving what you want or way more than what you want, then you will constantly be reminded of how much work you should be doing. Now, let's talk about your actual goals and your New Year resolutions. Every year I do the very same thing, and it has been working very well for me. Now, since I've been doing this every year, some of my goals that I wasn't able to achieve or didn't make the priority list for last year will go on the list for the new year. So for example, in 2020 or in 2019, I had goals. One goal was to travel a lot more. However, since the virus came in 2020, I couldn't achieve my travel goals. So now I can move them onto the 2021 list. Now, similarly, you can just brainstorm and write down everything you want to achieve this coming year. And this list is usually very long. At least for me, it is. Usually I have 100 to 150 things on this list. Now, after creating this list, I always tell myself that it's too long and probably not realistic. So the aim is to reduce this list by 50%. So I'll look at everything on the list and I'll strike some goals that I can either do next year, or maybe they'll be too much of a stretch for this coming year. This takes my list down to about 70 or so items. I then think about this long and hard, and I organize this list by priority. So the most important, or the ones that I want to get done first, go at the top of the list. Now, when I organize my list this way, I'll then again reduce the list by about 25 to 50%. So ideally, my list has only about 20 important things that must be done this year. Now, another problem that you may experience here is deciding that on January 1, you'll begin working towards these goals. It usually never gets you anywhere because it's going to be too much change happening too quickly, and you will end up quitting. So instead of trying to start going to the gym 3 times per week on January 1, and then eating healthy every day starting January 1, and then going to bed before midnight starting January 1, and then 22 other things starting January 1, here's how you can approach this. Take all goals and split them in 4 groups. Every quarter, because each year has 4 quarters, you'll do a handful. So for example, starting January, you'll go to the gym 3 times per week. Starting January, you'll also eat healthy. Starting January, you'll also save $100 per week. It takes about 30 days to build a habit. So at the end of the first quarter, you'll be doing everything you need to do, and it will be the norm for you then because it's no longer really a goal. It's more of just an everyday lifestyle. You then introduce some more of your goals in the second quarter, which could include spending time on your hobbies, working harder on your business, or something else. You then slowly integrate these goals into your lifestyle, so it's never a case where you have to change your lifestyle overnight, because that doesn't work, and that is why most New Year resolutions fail. So by doing it this way, you'll achieve your goals and you'll also change your lifestyle to one which is more productive for you and it gets you to achieve everything you actually want to. Now, to make this a lot easier, I also want to mention that writing down everything or keeping track of goals, tasks, and time is very helpful. By simply striking the days off on a calendar, it helps me to remember that I'm achieving my goals one day at a time. A vision board is also something that I think is underrated, and if you work from home, or maybe you have a home office, or maybe you have some place where you find yourself thinking when you need to make important decisions, it's great to have a vision board there with everything on it. Every single goal and in a measurable format. This helps a lot. If you want to find a vision board or a daily or yearly planner, I will leave a link below to some, so be sure to click on those links and check those out as well. So the main point is that if you make New Year's resolutions by themselves, then you most likely won't achieve anything, because while your goals are important and you really want to achieve them, that method is unrealistic. Any goal you have for this year needs to be at least SMART, and when I say SMART, I mean measurable, realistic, specific, time-bound, and attainable. If you follow the tips in this video, I'm sure you'll find that you'll be much more productive and you'll achieve a lot more going into 2021. Comment your thoughts below and let me know what you think about it. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and click the notification icon so you can get notified. Give this video a thumbs up, check all the links down below in the description, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.